The idea, insight, or secret you need for massive impact is just moments away. It's time to claim your career crown. The podcast where business owners and entrepreneurs share the keys to the kingdom to help you open the vault to your greater success. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Petite to Queen's Claim Your Career Crown podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Whitbeck, the Queen of Sales, and today I'm joined by our special guest, Megan Barefoot. And we're going to be talking about the gut reset formula, how to fix fatigue, brain fog, and bloating naturally. And, I have to tell you, fatigue, brain fog, bloating, can feel like separate issues, right? But they often start in the exact same place, your gut. And rebalancing it naturally can transform your energy, focus, and overall health. In this episode, Megan is going to share a simple, science-based gut reset formula that helps you feel better from the inside out. And I want to invite all of you, if you love the episodes, you love what we're talking about, please subscribe. You can just hit that, and the 5-star review, we'd very much appreciate it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Megan. And I have to say, I saw Megan live on stage. She was amazing. I mean, amazing. She's a certified holistic nutrition consultant and integrative health coach on a mission to help people fall in love with their guts again. And as the founder of No Shoes Nutrition, Megan blends science-backed strategies with a playful, down-to-earth approach to transform how we eat, think, and feel. And she is known for her infectious energy, and I can tell you she does have it, and a knack for turning complex nutrition concepts into simple, doable steps. And she's passionate about gut health, balancing hormones, and helping clients ditch inflammation so they can thrive body, mind, and soul. When she's not coaching or teaching her wildly popular cooking classes, you can find her experimenting in the kitchen, speaking on stages, or inspiring others to live boldly and feel their absolute best. So, Megan, I am really excited to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I am really excited to be here too. Any chance I can talk about the gut and I get really giddy. So.
And you tell great jokes. So I have to ask, because I don't know a lot of your backstory, what first got you interested in helping people heal their gut and improve their energy naturally?
This is a really good story because a lot of people don't know that I was actually a geologist before I went into nutrition. And the only reason I went into nutrition is because after I had my second daughter, she literally stopped working. Like nothing, the minute we gave her solid food, nothing was moving through her. It was like she had a blockage, but no one seemed really worried about it. So I was taking her into medical appointments. They were like, oh, it's fine. Babies sometimes have these problems. And my baby was in pain. She was crying. She was bleeding. She was in discomfort. And as a mom, you just know, I'm sorry, but you just know when your child is suffering.
Yeah.
And so they told me that, here's a laxative and yes, for a 6-month-old baby. And it should work itself out in 6 to 8 years. That's what they told me. And so I was like, there's no way we're going through this for 6 to 8 years. I mean, that's through potty training, that's through starting elementary school. Like there's no way I'm sending my child with this type of gut issue to school, right? So I decided to do some research on my own. I figured I have a science degree. I should be able to do some research. And I quickly discovered the gut microbiome. And I'm like, why is no one talking about this? Why is no one teaching us about this? And then how nutrition feeds not just us, but our gut bugs. So I lovingly call them microbiome gut bugs. And there's ones that work for you and there's ones that work against you. And when we are born, that's when we are inoculated with our microbiome. And we slowly build it from, what we get fed to what we as babies put in our mouths. Like babies put everything in their mouths. They're picking up bacteria and they're going into their guts, and they either help them or hinder them. And so that's where all of this started. And I became obsessed. And that's when I started going back to school and started my own business, and people started seeing the changes that were happening with me and my kids. And they started asking questions. And I didn't feel all that competent to, I could do myself, but how do I help other people? So I went back to school and just started figuring other people's problems out, and have come up with a method to help people with their gut health.
Wow. And how's your daughter doing now?
She's fantastic. She's a feisty 14-year-old. She's going to be a minion for Halloween tonight. It's going to be super cute. It might be my last Halloween, so I'm like living it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, I should be wearing my witch hat today, but for someone listening who's tired of dealing with brain fog and or bloating, can you sort of share, because you've got what's really going on in their gut?
Absolutely. So one of the things most people don't really put together is that there's a huge connection between what's going on in our gut and what's going on in our brain. So our brain is actually called our gut is actually called our second brain, but I really believe our gut is actually our first brain. And if you think about it, when you have a gut feeling when things are going well, or when things are not going well, or when things are going well, we call it our intuition, right? When things are going bad, we call it a gut feeling. Oh, I have a gut feeling that's not so great, right? So we're always thinking with our gut. And there's a whole nervous system around our intestinal system called the enteric nervous system that is connected to our central nervous system, or our brain, via the vagus nerve. So we have a lot of signs and symptoms from our body that our gut is not happy, that might not be gut related, right? So the bloating is a very obvious sign. The bloating plus the, poor bowel habits. Like I met a woman on the weekend that literally only goes to the washroom once every 13 days. What? How is that? How is she living? Like, that is no way to live. She must be so uncomfortable. So you don't have to live that way, right? And then the brain fog and that low energy, that can just be the beginning. But mental wellness, like anxiety, like depression, sleep deprivation, when you can't sleep, those are things that can also be connected to your gut, because the gut makes more neurotransmitters than your brain does. It's not necessarily used the same way, but it's still used in a way that's necessary for feeling good, or calming down, or being able to have great bowel movements, right? So it's all connected. It's all connected.
Yeah. Well, so you've already mentioned it, the gut reset formula. And I'd love to have you share, what does that look like in simple terms?
This is very exciting for me. I love this because I call this the gut method, the GUT method. So what we do is we really bring in gut forward nutrition. So what does that mean? We start to soothe and seal your gut lining. We start to feed your microbiome, and then we start to create the foundation so that you have more energy, your mood is more stable, you're more focused, you're getting way more out of your day. That's G, that's gut forward nutrition, okay? Then we move into understanding your body. So like I said before, your body will give you lots of signs and symptoms as things go wrong, but we are never taught what that means, right? You get a headache in the afternoon and you just pop a couple painkillers to help with that, as opposed to going, did I get enough sleep last night? Oh, did I drink any water today? What did I feed myself? When was the last time I had some protein, fat, or fiber instead of just sugary, refined carbohydrates, right? So your body's signals are things like bloating, cravings, fatigue, and their feedback. And a lot of people look at that as failure. Like, my body's failing me, but it's not. It's your body talking to you. We're just not taught how to understand our body. So that's the U, is understanding your body. And then the final piece of the gut method is, how do we take this interpretation, this gut forward nutrition, and thrive long term?
Yeah.
So it's about building sustainable habits that support weight balance, hormone harmony, and longevity. And so we don't have to think about it. It just becomes a natural part of our everyday life.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love what you're talking about. And I really resonate with the idea that, when, like you get an afternoon headache, I wouldn't take painkillers, but I might take some Tylenol. But I'd also think, oh, well, maybe I need some more caffeine, like a caffeine headache, right? But I don't want to take a lot of drink caffeine in the afternoon.
Right.
But I love where you're going with that, because, you don't know, and you've never had any kind of education on that. And so unless you've done the work like you've done, or, you're a nutritionist. So I think this is really helpful to get that framework that you were talking about. And I guess this is my next question, because, just thinking about, I mean, I've never really thought about gut health in the sense of my health. So why is, and I guess I'm lucky because I don't have a bunch of the things that you're talking about, but why is gut health such a tough thing for people to get right on their own, especially if they can't even make the connection?
Right. Yeah, that's a really great question. Our food system is really messed up. Like, for lack of, a better word for it, it has a lot of flaws. And we are inundated with media, and none of the media is talking about broccoli. Do you know what I'm saying? So
not unless the president hates it.
Yeah. So we are very much set up to fail. And we glorify busy. We don't take time to plan our meals, to prep our meals, because whole foods are slow foods.
Yeah.
Convenience foods are fast foods. And we are so busy and we're so overscheduled that we forgot to schedule in time to cook, to shop, to prep, to eat. And one of the first things that happens when people start to get really, really busy is they forget to chew. And when you forget, so who knew? We have teeth for a reason. Nobody told us, right? We just suck back smoothies and fast food. Part of digestion starts when we cook our food, when we start smelling it, when we start, touching it with our hands, when we lick our fingers, when we cook, right? We're getting in there and we're getting our senses all going. Then we need to sit down and slow down, get into the parasympathetic nervous system so we can be in rest and digest, and then chew our food. And so chewing starts everything down here, all our digestive juices, our gut peristalsis, everything moves through us. And some of us are just so busy. Like, when I had one of my very first teachers at school told me, like, go home and chew. And I'm like, I paid how much money to be in this classroom, and you're telling me that the root of all evil is not chewing? And I went home and I'm like, I'm going to take everything seriously. I'm going to try everything. So I went home and I made my family sit there and chew their food. And I'm telling you, I did not have any bloating. I did not have any constipation. It was like a miracle happened. It was the magic pill everyone's looking for. And it's just those little habits that we just forget. And we get it ourselves into a world of problems because of our food choices, our time commitments, and our lack of, like, good digestive habits, eating habits.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. And I mean, I was just thinking about this because, like, yesterday, it was like I was dealing with something. I mean, I'm in between meetings at work. I'm trying to and it's like, okay, I've got 5 minutes to eat my food. And so it's a microwave meal, right? and which is not ideal for me because I love cooking, and I love to actually, cook from scratch, do all the things. So and this morning I was going, oh, I really, this weekend, and that's one of the things I'll do. I'll cook
Mhm.
over the weekend and I'll get a
Yeah.
bunch of things
Yeah.
pre-prepped so that it's ready to go. Because then during the week, you are working and everybody's balancing things, but
Yeah.
then I can still put a really great meal either in the slow cooker or in the oven, and it's ready to go. And I can do things where I can have like something that's quick and easy, like a tuna fish sandwich, but I've made everything. So all I'm having to really do is put it on my wheat bread, slice it in half, and I've got something ready to go. So
Yeah.
I really resonate with what you're talking about. And also in the sense of, the pre-prepared foods, especially like when you do have a microwave meal, they've got so much added salt and fat
Mhm.
and who knows what all in there. That's one reason like I love cooking from scratch, because I know exactly what's gone into it, and I completely control the salt and sugar at the very least, right? Let alone the fat that goes into the food. So I really appreciate what you're talking
It
about.
is soup season right now, Lynn. Soup season is on. So that is one of the easiest things. You make a huge pot of your favorite soup, stew, broth, whatever, and have it for quick, fast, easy, microwave friendly, like lunches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I love actually to make my own homemade broth during the summer, during all the farmers markets and everything else. And then I make my own vegetable broth, and then
Mhm.
I freeze it. And anyway, that's just me.
That's
But
one of
then
my
I know
gut
it's
forward.
just got fresh vegetables and herbs in there. There's no salt, there's no fat. I know exactly what I'm putting in when I'm making other things.
Yeah. Don't be afraid of fat, though.
Oh,
Fat,
yeah.
fat can be good.
Well, yeah, and of
Broth
course you
is
get it
one of
in.
my gut forward foods. So,
Okay. All
yeah.
right. Well, I'm sure there's good types of fat and bad types of fat,
Yes,
right?
that could be a
So
whole nother interview.
that's a whole nother episode. So why do so many people miss the signs of an unhealthy gut? I mean, I was just talking about like I would not have associated a headache in the late afternoon. Like, okay, well, what's really going on? So I'd love to hear you expand on that some more.
Yeah, so a lot of people are number one, too busy, and it creeps up on you, right? It's little things at
Yeah.
first, like I'm just really fatigued. Do you know that the number one reason people go to the doctor is fatigue?
Oh
And
no.
fatigue is the number one symptom of almost everything. So when you go to the doctor and you're like, I'm just so tired, they're like, well, where to start? We don't really know, right? So that doesn't always point to the gut itself on its own, right?
Right.
So we need more details, but we're not taught. Like people don't talk about their bowel health. They just don't. Like nobody's like me. No one talks all about poop and the Bristol stool chart. And like I'm like, did you look at your poop today? And people are like, no, why would I do that? Right? Because it tells you, you can see what you're putting in your body. And if you take you don't have to examine it, like take a little glance in the toilet and make sure that it looks like a nice smooth snake, right? If it's not, if it's looser or if it's bumpier or goodness, if it's like Hershey's Kisses, then you're in big trouble, right? You're on one of the ends of the gut health spectrum for your stool, and it's starting to change, right? That your microbiome is there to help you break down your food and get the most out of it. So that's why fatigue, like you can eat all the healthy foods in the world, and if you feel exhausted after you eat it, you're likely having a microbiome problem and or absorption problem. You're probably inflamed. The top source of inflammation anywhere in the body is your gut.
Yeah.
So once your gut is inflamed, it can radiate to other parts of your body. And that's where you can get a headache in the afternoon, or you can get like joint pain. You know, when you wake up in the morning sometimes and you're like, oh, I feel like a 90-year-old woman. Like, why, that can sometimes be you worked out really hard, or, it can be something you ate, something you're not digesting well, too much sodium in the diet. Little things like that. Your microbiome is a bit toxic, so you're accumulating toxins, your liver's not detoxing well. there's all of these underlying issues that we're just, again, we're not taught any of this. I was dumbfounded when I was doing my research. My daughter was little, I was like, I'm doing all this research for her, and I'm like, check the box, check the box. This has been me my whole life. Check the box, check the box. Well, guess who you get your microbiome from? When you're born, you get it from your mom. So here I am with all these gut issues I had no idea were a problem, and I just passed my microbiome over to my baby, right? Yeah. So no wonder she has gut issues, right? And then if we go through the family history, you can go back and be like, oh, grandma had gut issues and mom had gut issues, and and it can go back and back. That's just our normal, our family history. That's just what happens in my family, right? Yeah. So we dismiss it.
Yeah, but now you know how to take care of it. Right. So, I mean, that's perfect, because I want to ask, I mean, what's one small realistic change listeners can make today to start improving their gut health?
Well, I actually have a few that I would like to. Absolutely. One would be start your day with water and lemon. I know you've probably heard this one before, but you wake up dehydrated. You haven't drank anything all day, and you want to lubricate the system, get it going. And that little bit of lemon, if you're really brave, you can do apple cider vinegar, will start adding a little acidity to your stomach to get your digestive system started for the day, right? Okay. And as we age, this is even more important because we start not making as much hydrochloric acid. So digestion just doesn't feel as good. And that's why as we age, we start to eat less and less just naturally, because we're just not as hungry, because our stomach isn't as acidic. So start the day, keep that system going, get a little acid in your stomach, and rehydrate your cells. Then I would say my favorite thing to tell people is eat something green at every meal. Yeah. Because when you're green inside, you're clean inside. Okay. So your greens are going through there and they're acting like a brush to kind of clean everything out. Okay. They're pushing everything, and then they're a nice big meal for your microbiome. Okay. So always have, even at breakfast, I know it's really hard right now. Luckily, avocado is really popular. So it counts as a green thing at breakfast. So you have a little green at breakfast, a little green at lunch, side salad at dinner, side salad at lunch. And you will feel so different in like 2 weeks of doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love to put a little bit of chopped spinach like in my eggs, you know.
Oh, and so good.
I also, on my tuna salad sandwiches, I put spinach, you know, a little layer of spinach. So instead of lettuce, I use
really get intentional about it. It's not that hard, hey? Like if you get intentional about it.
Yeah. 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 So, and I also, so with the lemon, what about lime? Like I actually have my little drink here, which has
lime
some fruit juice too. And it's got lime in there, but it's got real lime, right? Yeah. Because I like lemon too, but I'm really fond of lime.
Lime is a little less acidic, but it's a great starting point.
All right. Well, I'll take a sip.
Yeah, it's really good for you. The last thing I would say, because I just have to give you one more point, is really don't be afraid of fermented foods. Okay. So real raw fermented cabbage, sauerkraut, fermented beets, kombuchas, good quality yogurt, not the like sugary yogurts. Variety, get lots of variety, and don't be afraid of it. Try it in very small amounts to start out, and then work your way up to more and more, because that's how you build your microbiome. You can also buy probiotic pills, but those probiotic pills are going to be 1/10 of the power of real, true fermented foods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I've always loved sauerkraut. It's one of those things for me. Definitely.
You got to get the real stuff though, not if you buy the stuff that's in the jar in the middle of the grocery store, it's been pasteurized, right? You got to find your fermented foods in the refrigerated section.
That's the kind I buy. So
because it's live, it's good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm doing the right thing.
Amazing.
Okay.
That's why you don't have gut problems, Lynn.
I guess not. I'm sure that a few things that come up every so often I just haven't associated with. So that's good to know. So Megan, is there a question you wish more people asked you about for their gut or overall health?
Ooh, this is a good one. So one of the things I really wish people asked me more about, but they're maybe not really sure about, is how is my gut connected to my hormones, or how is my gut connected to my mental wellness, or things that they don't see as obvious, right? Even your immune system is in constant contact with your gut. So if you're getting sick all the time, if your hormones are all wackadoodle, then we can look at that from a gut perspective and see you have a whole system of gut bugs that work with estrogen. Like, who knew? Nobody tells us this stuff, right? So it drives me insane. So I wish that people would, because they see that I'm a gut expert, and then they're like, oh, well, I have hormone issues, so you can't help me. So I wish that they would bring their concerns to me and say, can you help me with this? Could it be my gut? That's what I wish people would ask me more. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good tip, everybody. I hope you really paid attention to this. So Megan, thank you so much for sharing the gut reset formula, how to fix fatigue, brain fog, and bloating naturally, and your hormone issues. I know that our listeners are going to want to know more about you. How can they find out more about you? So we show that.
I would love for everyone to go to noshoesnutrition.com. If you sign up for my newsletter, which goes only out once a month, so I'm not going to inundate you with all kinds of emails, but it is pretty awesome, in my opinion. You do get an awesome gut healthy recipe every month. When you sign up for the newsletter, you will get a gut health guide to get you started on your gut health. And then if you're really ready, I really recommend you sign up for a free consultation and we can chat.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. I mean, for me, this has been an incredibly informative discussion today. I got so much value out of it. And I really appreciate your being here and listening to these shows and taking the same thing, taking something today that you can immediately apply in your own life. So Megan, thank you so much. I'm so glad we had this discussion.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor to be asked to be on this podcast, and I hope someone out there gets something great and helps them.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
What was your biggest takeaway from this episode? I would love to hear about it. It's important to share the things you love. If you loved this episode, a 5-star review really helps keep the podcast coming to you regularly. Also, if you want to get more sales strategies to grow your business, make sure you subscribe right now. If you want to get results even faster, I invite you to download my sales strategy checklist at petitetoqueen.com/checklist. This has been Lynn Whitbeck, host of Claim Your Career Crown. I'll see you next time.